Good morning. Thanks for being here today. Thank y'all. We've got a good crowd here. We have some Baptists back there, way back in the back. I guess they're either they have a warrant out for them or they got somewhere else to slip out. But it's wonderful to be here. It's truly a great day in Lubbock, Texas, and it's wonderful to be in the eastern part of our community. I think the prettiest part of our community, right here overlooking historic Dunbar Lake. Yeah, it really is. In December of 2017, after working on it for a year, the City Council unanimously supported a public safety improvement project. There are a number of key pieces to that. However, this is the first one that has been completed. This patrol division station was started first and will be finished first, followed by the south station and the northwest station later this year. Also included in that initiative is the downtown police headquarters, which we broke ground for just a month ago, less than a month ago. The municipal court work that's going on as we retrofit the building just west of Citizens Tower. And the last piece of that is the property warehouse and crime lab, which will be built on city land on Municipal Drive where the old animal service shelter used to be. We broke ground on this property in November of 19, and it's just a fantastic investment in our community, in the relationships and the effort with community policing and what it means to our neighborhoods. And I just know I speak for the council when I say how excited we are about being here today. I'm going to try to recognize our special guest today. We've got members. Let's start with former Mayor Alan Henry and his wife Sandy, right on the front row. Thank you guys for being here. Yeah. A number of former council members. I've seen former Councilman Bill Malloy. I've seen Phyllis Jones Beasley. I've seen the ever-present Floyd Price. He was introducing himself as someone else a minute ago. I'm not sure what that's all about, but we expect some others to potentially be here today. Thank you. Is Maggie here? On the front row. You're on my list, Maggie, and Maggie Trejo for sure. So help me recognize the former city leaders. We're also joined today by leadership of the Sheriff's Department. We appreciate you guys being here. I know budget work is going on at the courthouse. I was there early this morning. I know that's where the sheriff is. He's negotiating as we speak, I would imagine. We're thankful for members of the district attorney's office who are here, for regional director Commander Longway from DPS who's here. I saw former Chief Tom Nichols here today. Tom, thank you for being here. And I think maybe most importantly, I see a lot of folks that have a lot of stake in East Lubbock. I'm thankful for community leaders who we count on every day. Many of you right in front of me. Thank you guys for what you do. Thank you for what you mean to this community. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that the Community Engagement Task Force leadership is here. Thank you all for being here. Also, thank you to the 100 Black men, many of them, their leadership. I saw President Reggie Dial over here. Many of their leaders are here today. Thank you guys for what you do every day. I appreciate you being here. We've got a legislative session going on in Austin. But regards to that, we have representatives from our local delegations. Thank you all for being here. I saw Mary Owens here from Senator Cruz's office. Thank you, Mary, for being here. We've got a great turnout. Certainly, Vice President of the Lubbock ISD Board of Trustees and District 2 Representative Bill Stubblefield is here. Bill, we appreciate you. Thank you very much. I also want to recognize the good folks from Lee Lewis Construction, Dewberry, and MWM Architects who have worked so hard to complete this beautiful building and landscaping that we see today. Please help me recognize those folks. Ms. Joy wants to make sure that I recognize Lindley. I recognize you by name. Thank you for being here. Lindley Herring from Congressman Arrington's office, and Donna Corbin from Representative Frulow's office. Thank you, Donna, for being here. Thanks for what you do for the community. Okay, so as I wrap up, I think 2 or 3 other thank yous. First of all, to our facilities committee, led by Mayor Pro Tem Massengale, joined by Ms. Joy and by Mr. Griffith. They've led the way working with Darren Dinsford and Wes Everett, who run facilities for the city. Thank you guys for what you've done in working us through this project. I think most importantly, I want to recognize and thank the men and women who put on a uniform and go to work, whether they put on a uniform or not, but go to work for Lubbock Police every day. Public safety is job one of this Lubbock City Council. It's really, when you talk about the fabric of a community, you can't get very far if your community's not safe. And so we're thankful for what you do. We were reminded again just this weekend with a tragic death in Chicago of a young police officer. We know that when you get up every morning and you tell your spouse goodbye, that there's a chance you don't come home, and that's not really, the mayor doesn't really think about that, and it's you've signed up for something very different, and we're very thankful for that, and that's not lost on any of us. So we celebrate that today. We celebrate Lubbock Police. We celebrate East Lubbock. It's been a long time coming, but it's a really, really great day. It's hard for me to put it in words. I'd like to call on Steve Massengale, our Mayor Pro Tem, and who's led the Facilities Committee, to come up and tell you a little bit more about this building. Steve?
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you again to everybody. It's a great crowd that's come out to help us celebrate this historic day today. There's going to be a lot of thank yous today. I want to start with the staff, and they're the ones that deliver the product, and I want to thank Wes and Darren, Jarrett, Bill, Mark Yearwood, who's not here. I want to thank our police admin that worked with our team to make sure that we delivered the right product. Chief Greg Stevens was part of this process. I want to thank him. It just takes so many. We set the policy, but then the work's got to be done, and so you see the result, and we're grateful for that. As the mayor mentioned, he's asked me to chair the facilities committee, and in 2016, I remember he told me, he says, Steve, I think we need a council facilities committee. I said, that's a good idea, Mayor. And he said, I want you to lead that. I was like, okay, I'm down for that. I go, what do you need us to do? He said, why don't you get that tower finished and see if you can figure out police facilities. And so it was easily said, but it's a tall order, and I couldn't have done it without my committee members, Jeff Griffith, and Latrell Joy. And I was thinking back over what it took us to get us here. It took me dragging you through a few old buildings with some crazy ideas. Miss Joy probably looked at me funny when I did a couple of those. We had to do some traveling and look at what decentralized policing looked like. And we quickly came to the conclusion that that's what Lubbock, Texas needed. I think it's exciting that we opened the first facility that will implement our community policing on the 100th anniversary of our police department. It's the community policing model and these facilities that will continue to serve our community for many years to come. The mayor talked about the components of what we call the Public Safety Improvements Project that are so vital to pushing our community forward. But I'll remind you what it costs, because everything costs, and we're so grateful that taxpayers support us in these efforts. $60 million price tag that we thought at the time would cost 3 pennies. We asked our citizens for 3 pennies on the tax rate, and we're fortunate because we live in a growing community that it cost only 2 pennies on the tax rate. You know, when we broke ground on the police headquarters, I talked about that it's nice to have new facilities, but they're only tools to get the job done. I too want to thank the men and women of the Lubbock Police Department that watch over us and get the job done every day. And I think it's an exciting day, but my excitement is more for them than anybody, to allow them to have this facility, a tool to do their job, and to continue to keep us safe day in and day out. I want to thank you all again for coming out to this great historic event today. And at this time, I'd like to turn the mic over to Ms. Sheila Patterson-Harris.
Good morning, everybody. Let's try that again. I said, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Thank you to the mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, the other council members, the chief, and I almost said the chiefettes, but the rest of the chiefs who are here today. I am excited. I'm excited because over my right shoulder, I can turn and look as this building oversees one of the most beautiful places in this place we call Lubbock, Texas, USA. I want to thank staff and everyone who had their hands in this thing, but most importantly, I want to tell you about some folks who also have a huge part in the success of this place. We've got some folks from some neighborhoods in the place today. Give them a hand. We've got Dunbar, Manhattan Heights. We've got Chapman Hill, Hilltop. And we've got Parkway, Cherry Point. I'm not sure if we've got Yellow House Canyon. And we've got Bayless Atkins in the house, because those are some of the neighborhoods that this patrol division will be looking after. So it's great that we have those folks here welcoming us here in this space. So thank you guys. And a big shout out across the street to Mr. and Miss Hernandez. I hope they hear me, who've been cheering on this place ever since we began to have this conversation. So we need folks like that to make this thing happen, because the officers are a great part of this community. But we as the citizens also have to do our part to make sure that this place in Lubbock, Texas, USA is a success. You know, in just over a month, I'll add another year to my life. And I hear you're saying, well, Sheila, what the heck does that have to do with opening up a patrol division? I'll tell you, I'm glad you asked. It means that I'll add one more year to my life here in the great city of Lubbock, Texas. It means that there's one more year that I'll add to my life as I live over on the hill. It means that it's one more year that I'm a resident of the great district number 2. So it's important to me because it causes me to reflect, because this lake, I remember, hasn't always been a lake. I don't know if those of you who remember that just used to be a canyon. And what it does is it shows us what possibility is and what beauty can be. I also know just how important it is to have community policing, because as a young girl, I had it on the hill. As I look out and see Kingpin #2, Police Officer Floyd Price, as he helped to work with the citizens and keep our neighborhoods safe. It can happen, but it happens by us building relationships with everybody that we come in contact with. So officers, when you pass by and somebody's waving real big at you, stop and tell them hello. And folks in the community, when you see that black and white driving down your neighborhood, flag them down and let them know who you are. Because that's how we make things happen in this city. I'm just talking about what I'm talking about this morning. I'm excited, if you can't tell. I'm excited because this moves us forward. I envision so many more folks coming to this space, so many more things coming to this space, because we've developed a partnership in this area of the city. And we're going to show everybody else how it gets done. As we do our part, every last one of us. I always end my speeches with one saying that my dad always reminds me of. He says, and say it with me if you know it, little threads of cotton make mighty big rope. And what that means is that there's something for every last one of us to do. And if we do it together, doggone it, we'll make great things happen. So I say to you, thank you for being here. Let's get this party started.
All right, Lacey, Allison, Casey, thank you for putting me behind SPH. Deputy Chief Skrbanek and I had a little side bet of who was going to give the neatest words or speech. I think we both owe $1 to SPH. Okay. All right. So, welcome to East Patrol Division. It gives my heart great joy to say that. Just under 20 months ago, we all stood here to break ground on what for most of us was uncharted territory. The concept of decentralized, community-involved, and engaged policing, where we in law enforcement are literally rooted in, invested, and one with our community. The labor of what you see here today started long ago, with the idea from city, community, and police leaders to become better, to not stand still on the past accomplishments and progress, but to forge ahead, to invest not only in our police department, but to invest in its relationship with our community, to invest and potentially sow the seeds of economic investment and development in an area with such rich history and such abundant untapped opportunity. To my East Patrol Division and East Lubbock business and community members, we're here to stand with and beside you. This is home. You have a friend and an ally and a protector in the Lubbock Police Department. With that said, I'd like to introduce the man who will lead the officers that will call East Patrol Division home. Deputy Chief Jason Skrbanek was hired onto the Lubbock Police Department in 2002. In 2006, he promoted to the rank of corporal and worked in the East Patrol and worked in patrol and Special Operations Division. During his assignments, Jason was formally recognized by the United States Attorney's Office, the U.S. Department of Justice, Federal Bureau of Investigation for his criminal investigative efforts into child sex trafficking, working to protect those in our community that are the most vulnerable. Jason was promoted to the rank of sergeant in 2013 and then to the rank of lieutenant in 2016, where he oversaw the department's property crime unit. In March of 2020, Jason was promoted to the rank of captain and assigned as deputy chief over North Patrol Division until taking over East Patrol Division in January of 2021. Jason is a master certified police officer for the state of Texas and a trained SWAT operator. Jason is a family man, married to his wife Ashley, and they have a son, a 2-year-old son called Declan. I share this to let you all know, East Patrol Division, you're getting a good one. You're getting a well-trained, experienced, and ethical leader. It is my honor to introduce Deputy Chief Jason Skrbanek to say a few words.
Thank you, Chief Mitchell. I would just like to thank everyone for coming out this morning to help celebrate the grand opening of our first Patrol Division station. This is truly a historic moment for the Lubbock Police Department, the East Lubbock community, and Lubbock, Texas as a whole. Our goal when this project was first envisioned was to decentralize our department and to use Patrol Division stations to enhance community policing. Today, we have taken an important step to obtaining that goal. Decentralization is a key component to community policing. This helps make police services and officers more easily accessible to the public. Instead of having just one police headquarters located downtown, there will be a division station in East, North, and South Lubbock. It is more than just about policing a neighborhood. It is about becoming a part of that community. Community policing allows partnerships to form between Lubbock citizens and the department, bringing the entire community together to keep our streets safe. Community policing develops trust and transparency, leading to more efficient policing and better community relationships. That is what this East Patrol Division station is all about, and I look forward to continuing to grow those partnerships with the community because of it. Thank you. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce Mayor Pro Tem Steve Massengill.
Thanks, man. Well done. All right, it's what we all came for. Let's cut this ribbon. So we'll get the council and police admin, everybody from back here. Where are we going to do it? Lacey, over there? Yeah. All right, in front of the doors.
Come on, campaign number 2. Come on, this is
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Oh, Miss Holmes coming too. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, Mag. Come on up here, Mag. Me? Come on. Come on, lady. Come on.
Ready?
We're ready. All right. Ready? I'll call it off on 3. Ready? 1,